Hello and welcome back to the inn. You're here for some Tales of Andrea, which is a D&D campaign led by this guy with these wonderful players. There. I got it right. But first, a couple of announcements. Tuesday, we have the wonderful Into the Nightmare coming up. I don't know about Ethan, but I had a blast playing Callus myself. Ethan does Shane in that one. It's an interesting dynamic already. We're going to have some fun. But coming for a wonderful nightmare at 6 o'clock, that time around, MDT. Other programming going on, our other TTRPG goes on Saturdays, and that is actually led by the wonderful Anubis. We've been doing a lot of walking lately.
Yeah, lots of traveling.
But it's been entertaining. Lots of killing too, so fun. Fun times to be had there. So join the Nightbane for a fun adventure as they travel through the lands and discover what they are, essentially. And play with magic. Yay. Then that, I don't think there's really anything else, so I'll make it a hop into it, see what Yolandriel's decision will be. But first, let's hear that beautiful voice of Prologues. And roll that intro.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods, if not at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Welcome back. We last left our wonderful intrepid party dealing with a death in the party. Praspidus fell in combat against the Dream Wraith, or Dream Demon actually to be precise in this one. They did their best efforts to bring him back, but did not succeed, with a very devastating death roll coming out in the end, resulting in Praspidus not returning.
For now.
There was some arguments, words traded with Nernth and others alike. In the end, we stopped with Brolog examining and exploring around the cavern that they are in. Anubisai doing Anubisai stuff.
I
And
was
Yolanda.
exploring.
Oh yeah, exploring as well. Have it in my notes, but
Nerds.
I forgot. And Yolandriel sitting, waiting for a response to nothing. So let's go with Brolog and Anubisai first.
Brolog is going to stop abruptly where he is, return to where Anubisai is, which I think is still nearest the tree.
Yes.
And say, Anubisai, may I have Percy's ring?
I give it to him.
Brolog puts on the ring.
It is currently expended of charges.
That was the day before, I thought. Did we sleep? I thought we slept.
Nope.
We didn't sleep?
No sleep yet.
No sleep yet? Okay.
You're coming
miscount.
towards the end of the day. It was at the beginning of the day that they were used.
Oh, okay.
And then you
I thought-
traveled up north. It didn't take a full day. You didn't have to camp. Actually, no. Did you?
We
I can't
slept
remember.
in. We slept in
We
Alibaba's
slept in town.
hut. I
Yeah.
thought he sent the message that the night that Percy died. We slept in Alibaba's.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
right.
yeah. You're right, yep. So it's got charges. You're right.
Okay.
Good,
cool,
good.
Cool.
Thank you for the clarification.
Is this? I don't know if it was clarified or not. Are these mind messages, or am I saying this out loud?
They are mind. You can do
Mind
both.
message.
You can say it out loud or you can send it through mind.
Okay, this will be a mind message then. Brolog here. Contract is broken. Would you like to revise it? Specify terms, if so. Would need to include Brolog being made leader.
There is a moment's silence until you hear his king's reply. Brolog. Creed 321. Interesting proposal. I'm near Danira, or getting closer. Meet me there.
Danira. Am I supposed to know where Danira is?
It's the
The
first
port
town
we
you ran
landed.
into. It's the first city you arrived in Andrea on.
Oh. Okay, that's way back in the notes. Okay. Okay.
Way back in the notes, he says. Don't believe his lies.
Page 1.
Let's
He's
see
on
here.
page 2.
I think no, I have like 6 pages of notes. I'll have you know. Okay. I'm writing it out to count it.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, this is too far. Group will splinter if it takes that long. A decision is needed now.
Short and to the point.
Hey, he's not wrong.
Give me a day to confer. Few things I need to sort, if so. Is that acceptable? While Brolog is typing out his response and counting the words,
do that.
the sounds you are listening to and hearing right now is provided by Syrinscape. Syrinscape's one of those wonderful online platforms that you can go onto and share through the online senses and there are other things and such. The words are failing me right now. But Syrinscape,
Always be plugging.
it's great ambience noises, great sounds, and you can share it digitally like this. So the people across the world from you can hear what you're listening to, and your D&D experience is not sacrificed. Well, it's still fun without the sounds. Wow, I'm rambling now. Brolog, please tell me you have your message.
Yeah, another short, sweet one.
Perfect.
I will wait one day. We will speak in the morning.
He stumped him.
Very good. I will speak with you then. Have your terms in order.
I don't have any more messages, right? It's just 3.
No, just 3.
I have things to say to the group, but I didn't know if the group wanted to do things whilst it's happening.
Okay, so, Anubisai, what have you been doing while Brolog has been sending those messages?
And the mute button again. Yay. Just meandering around, exploring a little bit. But not much. Kind of waiting to see what Yolanda does.
Okay. Yolanda, the mere thought and process of everything that's been going on has been exhausting. Find yourself easily slipping into sleep and finding yourself situated in a identical room, but dark in a way. The more you focus, the more you realize the darkness isn't actually darkness, it's just wisps of black smoke waving through the air as if there's a current, even though you can't feel any wind of any kind. Before you is the tree. It seems to be the only thing clear inside this room. Behind you comes a voice. Yolanda, what are you doing on the ground like that? It is a very familiar voice.
Okay.
It's your mother's voice.
Okay. I was gonna roll for that.
You recognize it very easily.
Okay. Can I roll to see if I'm conscious that this is a dream?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Oof. That's a bad roll. For me. Oof. Okay, what's my Arcana? 4.
4. You know, even though that was a terrible roll,
A terrible, awful roll. Yeah.
it's pretty obvious this is a dream.
That I am going to kind of turn around but not get up right away and look at my mother and say, well, Ma, I have a decision to make, and no one to really help me out with it.
She comes, sits beside you. Then tell me. Tell me about it.
Well, the tree wants me to use its power to purify this land, and all other signs point to me using it to get a piece of armor. But I don't know which choice is going to help me more, or which one's going to damn me.
I believe both could have their downsides and their upsides. You've been looking for that armor for a while, so of course you need it. But
yeah, but
what's being left behind is also not good. Maybe there's a way of making them both work. What is it you want from the tree?
The gem. It's what I need to trade.
So as long as you provide said gem, you will get your piece?
As far as I know, I haven't really seen it. It's kind of the problem.
And what of the tree's wishes?
Well, I could leave it here, leave the gem intact, be protected by my friend. I don't know how well that'll work out. Or take the gem, and I use it to purify whatever tree I can in order to help bring balance, I think. Something is off in this place, in these lands.
And what will you do once you have your armor?
I have no idea. And that's when I'm like gonna lean on my mom.
She leans into it. You hear her whisper, and perhaps we can help with that too. And the dream ends, and you wake up. This is about prologue when your messages have finished. And Nubasai, you've wandered around. Good grief, the overlay went crazy there for a second for me. You've wandered around again, and you get a good clean sight of what is now happening at the base of the tree. It begins to peel aside. You also see Zarai is now standing and backing up a bit, with a smile across his face. The tree trunk opens, and you see that red, thick sap dripping down and moving around. And from it produced a humanoid. A humanoid who is very clearly holding a green gem So, let me just do that, and Abarat, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Abarat, and I am a druid of the spore.
Grief, you've only
Quite
met.
literally.
What do you look like?
I'm tall. I'm about 6'4". I'm a bronzed humanoid. Human. Yeah, not tall compared to Brolog. That's for sure. I look human. I've got thick, dark, barky-like brown hair, and my eyes are a brightish green, though they seem to be misting over a little bit. I also have what seems to be like lichen or mold like looks and growths on places that look like they might be slowly fading away.
Okay.
You see him
I
come
kind of
from
just sit there.
the tree, step forward a few steps, and Zora just smile. I don't know what you said to convince it, but good job.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit there and be like, I didn't say anything, but and I'm gonna stand up. And just kind of like stare at this thing.
Abrat will examine your laundrill up and down, and then look down at the green gem, and then look up at your laundrill and ask, "So, trees?"
Trees. And I'm gonna extend my hand for a shake.
Abrat will shift the gem over to his left hand and shake your laundrill's hand. He's got a strong grip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Abarat.
Your laundry, but I think you already know that.
Indeed.
So what's the plan?
To go find the other trees?
Brolog at this point will interrupt and say, "You're on real." When
Yes,
I
Brolog.
speak.
I'm gonna look at Everett. I'm gonna say, "Excuse me," and then I'm gonna turn around and walk up to Brolog and say, "Yes, Brolog."
Brolog sits on the ground, cross-legged, and motions Yolandril to do something similar.
Okay, I do so.
Where's Anubis at this point? Nearish.
Muted.
Yeah, nearish enough.
Okay, cool. Okay. To Yolandril, I have spoken to the king. I have asked him to make me the leader of this expedition. He is expecting terms in the morning. So the question is, Yolandril, would you follow me if the king agreed?
Well, Brolog, it depends on what your plan is.
That would depend on what the king would require, which I won't know until the morning.
Then let's find out in the morning, and I'll have my decision.
Very good. If his whims are good enough for you, what terms would you request for the renegotiation contract?
I kind of like look at him, and in my head I'm like, oh man, oh no. And I just say, I would have to think on that, Brolog. This is a lot of information in a very short amount of time.
Tell me before we sleep.
Okay, I say, and I like nod my head, and my eyes kind of like look, searching for Anubis-eye. And then I look back at Brolog, and I say, what exactly do you mean by terms?
The terms of the contract. What he expects from us and what he will give us in return.
Okay, I nod my head knowing full well I just agreed to a contract that I didn't really even read in order to get on this journey. But I just nod my head at you. Like, okay.
Brolog nods in acknowledgement and then turns to Anubis-eye and says, Anubis-eye, my friend, would you continue with us, with me as the leader?
Yeah.
Muted again.
I know. I don't have a problem with that.
Very good. I know
But I will
you.
not be under contract.
Of course. Given your specific set of skills, the king may be able to gift you something without contract. Is there anything that you want?
Not from him, no.
Okay. That is all. Is this green man acceptable to us?
Brolog, I believe so. If you care to explain to him the rules, I say, kind of like gesturing to you.
Okay. In that case, Brolog will do one of these to Yolandriel and one of these to the green guy.
I get up, and as soon as I'm like behind Brolog, I'm like,
with a curious look on his face.
While you walk past Aberrat, Yolandriel, why don't you give me an Arcana check? Give me that tasty Arcana.
9.
9.
This is where the punishment comes in for all those good rolls.
Okay. Carry on, Aberrat.
Yeah, with the curious look on his face, Aberrat will approach Brolog and look him up and down, sizing him up.
Brolog motions for you to sit on the ground as well.
He will mimic your seating arrangement, essentially.
Excellent. I am Brolog. I am Loxodon. Who are you and what?
I am Aberrat, and I am a fungal druid of the spore.
Explain.
Blade?
Explain. Explain.
I am
Exterminate.
essentially a fungal sentience that has been brought to answer the question as to why the trees are ending up as they have ended up, how to save them, and if I can't save them, how to destroy them.
Are you only yourself, or are you a larger whole?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
You kind of broke up a bit as well.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to repeat the question or move on to further explanation?
Move on.
Okay. Are you aware of bees?
Not the bees.
Yes, bees. The insect, yes.
Yes. They are a hive mind. Are you such a being, or do you stand?
I am as one, not as many.
Very good. What drives you? Is it just the trees?
With a curiously amused look, Aberrat will look at Brolog and go, "For now."
Your Unreal asked me to teach you my creed. At his request, I will. My clan and my people follow the creed of 3-2-1. Dictates that our tattoos are ours. Unless you would like to know further, the two main laws I would ask that you do not break are: do not get unworthy tattoo, and only speak to me as me, not as something else. Do you understand?
I do. That is most interesting, and I would love to learn more.
Would you?
Indeed.
In this case, Burlock becomes very excited and tells him all of the parts of the...
While that story's being told, your laundry will give me another Arcana check. You're muted.
10.
10.
Yep.
There's something strange and familiar about that gem.
Also,
Which Abrat's still holding, by the way.
You're not sure?
okay, I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna go. Boop.
What everyone else sees is your laundry will go over while Aberrat's being explained the creed of 3-2-1 and just touch this gem. There is a slight snap, crack, and your laundry will fall to the ground, as if convulsing, having seizure-like responses.
Oh no.
As memories begin to flood your brain. Countless times of walking beside others, people who you've traveled with in the past, you remember Nern's face, you remember Adi Baba's face, you remember Carson's face, and you remember another, a lion type, Lionin. You know the race. They govern most of southern Dagorfin. This one is male, but with no mane. It's been shaved off. And you remember Eshna. Not as he is, but as he was. A man. You also remember someone who you remember being referred to mostly right now as the Lady of Smiles. She never smiled. Except only ever to you. And your brother. These faces go before you and then snap back. It's a strange memory. Doesn't feel as if it's your own, but yet it does.
Okay, I'm gonna sit up very quickly.
You have a throbbing headache.
All right. And I'm gonna look at the stone for a second, and I'm gonna say,
the stone is now cracked down the middle and a much more dull green.
okay, I'm gonna look at the stone and then look at Aberrat, and I'm gonna say, that's my bad.
Anything I notice about it?
Give me an Arcana check.
24.
Someone who's got proficiency in Arcana for once. It is where it had a limited amount of power left after creating you. It is now empty.
Well, this is expended.
Okay, I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, so I really wasn't supposed to touch that? Like,
I'm going to haphazard a guess that it had some kind of power, either unaligned or aligned with your own, and you touching it set it off. Abrad's going to size your laundril up. Is there anything about your laundril that I can see that's different?
just the permanent markings on my face and body, because I have exposed arms, ladies and gentlemen.
You see the tattoos and the markings. Go ahead and give me Arcana or Religion.
I'm going to go with Arcana. 19.
19. There is an innate magical presence within him. You can tell he's not like any of the other races you've encountered, but not dissimilar to them either. It's almost as if he was created through extra means, or born through extra means.
I'm going to shuffle the stone away to somewhere on my person, and then look at your Andrea and say, I guess we'll just have to find a more difficult means to save the trees.
Shit. I say, and then I'm going to look at the tree and I'm going to say, why did she tell me not to touch the stone?
Zorai looks... We didn't think that was gonna happen. Oh, hey, did she tell you about the logical loophole I found, came up with?
What?
Stone. Adi Baba just asked for the stone. You've got the stone. We ain't never seen one of them before, so who's to say we didn't find it like that? I don't know. I just thought of it. Do it if whatever you would like. I'm not trying like I'm trying to help or anything.
I'm going to say, well, you got to admit, guys, that he's very, very good at conniving and conning. So, I think his advice is good on this one. We can try. I say as I'm like literally like this. Sitting on the ground.
Abrat's going to offer you the stone.
Okay, I'm going to hesitantly grab it and then look at it. Is there any way that I can heal this thing?
Yeah,
Actually, hold on. One, let me just cast mending on this.
Okay, so for the next minute you concentrate on the stone. And the crack... Let me get the specifics of the spell mending here.
The spell can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell can't restore magic to such an object.
Okay, perfect. When you cast it, the next minute the rest of you see the crack slowly mend and go back together, and it then once again looks like a perfectly fine stone. Still the same dull green. You've mended the stone.
Okay.
Oh, while he was casting that mending, Abrat would then refocus back on Brolog and go back to listening to the creed and all the details of it.
What is Anubisai doing this whole time?
Muted. That's what she's doing.
Muted.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to have to keep muted. Just slowly walking around the group.
Hey, I'm going to look at everyone and I'm going to say, after Brolog is done, of course, I'm going to say, I think we should move. Make sure we get back to the boat in time. We'll head out and then go back to the city, go back to the temple, try and make a deal. And then we head back to the boat. Does that sound like a good plan, Brolog?
Brolog hadn't been paying attention to what you were saying up to that point until you said, is that a good plan, Brolog? And it is at that point he stopped speaking about the creed.
I was waiting until you were done.
There is no done, but he will turn to Yolandriel and says, "What is your plan?"
I'm going to repeat my plan once again.
We should not deal with Alibaba until the other matter is decided. How long until the ship leaves?
What was it like? It's very soon. But we messaged them, didn't we?
No one has no one can cast. You thought about it, thought about doing it through the ring, and then were informed that the ring is only a one-way. It only works with the other ring in correspondence. No one has messaged them. You'd also tried to send Steve with the message, but he never went to the boat, and you ended up pulling that very same message from him. They have received no word from you since you left.
Okay. I'm going to realize all of this, and I'm going to say, hey, Zarai, could you get Steve here? Is Steve already here?
No, he's not.
Alibaba.
I would, but
body.
for some reason I guess I can't get in touch with him.
Okay, I'm going to say, shit. Which one of us has the note?
You do.
I say out loud. I do? Oh,
You do.
okay.
Yeah. You're the one who took it off with Steve.
Hey, what time of day is this?
It's getting close to... You were about, if I'm remembering correctly now, an hour or two out from the cavern area. So it's not too late in the day. I wouldn't say it's even noon yet.
Oh, okay.
Brolog will do one of these to Yolandriel and then turn back to Avarat and say, we need to communicate with the ship that is in the port. Do you have any ways to assist us in this endeavor?
I'm afraid not. Not for sending messages.
Give me the message, I'll take it.
You can run tonight. This is a good idea.
Okay. I hand Anubisai the note, and I say, you probably won't need it, but here you go.
Are you refining the note before you send it? Because the note previously was, essentially, it was about take care of Zorai, make sure he doesn't do anything silly, or leave the boat. We'll be back soon. And that's...
Okay. I'm going to cross out all of that. Leave the part that says we'll be back soon and say you can hunt for food if need be. We are on our way back. We have a deal to make. And then I'm going to hand it to him and say, you could probably explain that anyway, but here you go.
Anubisai, I will wait here for turn.
I'll just go back to the temple since that's where you guys are going.
Maybe. We may not go there.
Oh, okay. I'll come back here. She takes off running. Full blast.
Okay. Anubisai's running back to the boat.
Okay. I'm just gonna say we start heading back, and then we'll camp outside of the city. Wake up in the morning, we'll travel into town, and then on the way you can message the king.
You didn't direct him, comment directly to him, so he's didn't hear it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand there for a minute, and I'm gonna say, oh, this is gonna get real old real fast. And then I turn to Abarat, and I'm gonna say, you heard everything I said, right?
Waiting till the morning?
Yes.
I did indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna take a big deep breath. Turn to Brolog and say, Brolog, and then repeat everything I just said.
Yes, wait until the morning. Make a decision then.
Yeah.
Brolog will turn back to Abarat and say, how much do you know of why this group is here?
I actually have no idea why you as a group are here.
We signed a contract, each of us did, to protect Persepolis, but he has died. But I believe his goal was to rescue his mentor, who is a princess. We have been sidetracked many times by pointless endeavor. But we are now waiting for the king on whether it should continue, whether I should go home. Do you have interest in joining with me?
My main interest is finding the other trees and saving them if I can, destroying them if I cannot. Also learning what it is that is ailing them.
Do you know where the trees are?
Do I have a general idea as to where the trees are?
You have an understanding you'll know when they're close.
I'll know as I draw near them. I will know.
So you do not have any direct information.
Not directly, no.
So it seems as if you would join us, and then if you feel a tree, perhaps we could assist you, and between that time you could assist in our endeavor.
I quite thoroughly enjoy how that sounds. It would also give me the opportunity to learn more about your creed, and possibly follow some of it, if not all of it.
Elandriel's
An
last nightmare.
excellent goal.
And now there are two.
And I'm gonna look back and forth between the two of them, just like.
What time of the day is it at this point? Like
Still before noon. Not much time has passed.
before noon? Oh, okay. Cool. In that case, Burlock will continue talking to Aberrat. Say, do you have memory? Are you as one just born?
Vague understandings. But for the most part, my memories go as far as when I walked out of the tree.
What
Just
is
gonna
your
I'm gonna
ability
stand there
with
for a minute. And I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna go outside the cave because I don't really know what we're still doing here. And I'm gonna walk out, knowing full well that both of them just ignored everything I just said while we were talking.
What was it Burlock said?
Do you have ability language
Language-wise.
to understand and to speak?
Well, I can speak the tongue we are currently speaking. I understand a language that I feel very few others can understand. I can, and then I'm going to slip into Primordial. Does Brolog speak Primordial?
Burlock definitely does not.
Yeah. And then I'll slip into Sylvan. Does Brolog speak Sylvan?
Definitely does not.
And then I'll go, and I have a vague understanding that this language, and I'll say a few things in Elvish, and go back and say, I believe that one is Elvish.
Burlog will point to his tattoos on his ears and say, "This is known to me." In Elven.
What does it say?
One tattoo says death, and the other one says regret. Interesting. I do not think those will be helpful currently. Maybe in the future. Our previous leader had many papers, and I cannot read. But I will continue looking.
So what are you all doing
Your previous...
for the course of the day? You just having general conversations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then carry on.
Abrat's going to start slipping into asking about Paraspidus and the party in general, just trying to get to know the party and their dynamic.
Burlog tells him that Paraspidus was an incompetent leader, but a good man. And Anubisai is an excellent friend and good to have in important matters. And Yolandril is a young and passionate individual with much potential for battle.
What, nothing about me? I see how it is, Nubisai. Gee, thanks. Nubisai, prologue. Gee, thanks.
First. Burlock does not respond to Demon Eye's words at all. Well, would you like to join me? Outside, camp can be made.
I would be honored.
Burlock will go outside of the cave and start setting up camp at the entrance.
Okay.
When Abrat steps out, he does look curiously around at everything, but assists Burlog otherwise.
All right. Now, the chit-chat and talk about the group probably took an hour or so. So, Yolandril, what have you been doing during that time?
Taking a walk. Yeah, just taking a walk.
Just taking a walk? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then, for the course of the day, what is everyone doing? Are you camping out, waiting till the next day? Or are you traveling distance? What's the plan here?
Burlock will be camping out. He will be putting some practice into the dance of his clan, the Luxul, and in order to get the rust off when he learned it when he was young.
Okay. Abrat and Yolandril.
Abrat's going to probably assist in setting up camp, and then after that, he'll spend a bit of time just examining the nature around, what the vines have done, how everything's grown wildly or how everything isn't, and whatnot, and just get a feel for the land, essentially.
Okay.
After I get done with my walk, I'll come back. I'm gonna head back into the cave for a quick goodbye to Zarai and the tree, and then I'm gonna rejoin Brat and Brolog.
Well, the course of the day is peaceful. You see creatures and hear beasts in the forest. Nothing comes and disturbs you. After everything you've all been through recently, this is probably the best moment of respite you've had in a very long time.
Good.
Eventually, the night does fall. And you do get to that sleepy moment. Are you all doing any kinds of watches of any kind?
I'll take first watch because I am going to do all of my flying, which is like 4 minutes of flying in total before I go to sleep.
Brolog will turn to Abarat and say, I would request that you partake in the second if you are not knowledgeable of it. It is just to look around if you see, observe, or smell danger. Wake us. Wake me.
Without hesitation.
And then I will do the third. Waken me after several hours.
Abrat will nod.
Go to sleep.
Okay. Yolandru, first watch.
Mhm.
Give me a perception check.
Gotcha. Real good. That's a dirty 20 on that
Okay.
perception.
You hear the forest sounds. Crickets, nightbirds, predators, little rodent animals dying in the distance. To the predators.
Mm-hmm.
But your watch is peaceful.
All right. I wanted like some weird flavor here when I wake up, Aberrat. When you wake up, my eyes shine like beasts in the night. When you like wake up because of my my night vision, my dark vision.
By the way, you're waking him up. It's more like he's in a trance.
Okay. And I just kind of give you a little shake, a little shaky shake.
Interesting. Time for the second watch. I will position myself so that I can see things. And just sit there.
Give me a perception check.
Do you mind if I take my passive?
Go for it. What's your passive?
22.
Yep. Same, much the same. Distant animals, peaceful, calm, decent night. It's interesting. You are familiar with animals. You're familiar with their touch, but not necessarily their sound. You hear all these animals chirping and making noises around you, but you're not sure which ones belong to which. Your watch ends, but before you wake up, Brolog, you wake up in a strange situation. You can hear everything around you, but the area is blackened. And across on one of the logs nearby where you've set up is sitting down King Shago. This is a very expensive spell to use. Thankfully, I got the timing right.
Brolog takes out his axe.
Relax. I've used the dream spell and entered your dreams to communicate more easily. That sending spell, as useful, was very limited.
Brolog would like to try to figure out if he is actually in a dream.
Okay, give me an insight check.
3.
3. It looks like the exact same situation. You were in, you're in your camp. Although there's no sign of Yolandriel or Aberrat.
Okay. Very well. What do you have to say?
You proposed being the leader of the group, renewing the contract. Are you familiar with what the contract was for?
Gar aspects.
Yes. And in that case, we cannot renew the contract. So what I would like to negotiate instead is a new contract. You are my forward agents in Andrea right now. You're the only people I have there. I would request daily reports with what's going on, relations with the diplomats as where you can, and an actual information coming from you. Paraspidus was a good man, yes, but he had his shortfalls. One of them is he never actually talked to me. Yes, incompetent would be one of the words. However, he was still like family to us, so I would guard your tongue, Brolock.
It is what it is. He was a good man, though.
Good. Be assured that there will be no tolerance of disrespect towards other dignitaries. I know you follow the creed of what 321. However, I would demand that you uphold our nation to its highest regard. And if that means swallowing your pride and putting aside your creed for the necessities of Quayla, do it. Are you comfortable with that term?
Mm-hmm. I am not, but if it comes point when I must choose between my creed and yours, I will relinquish my rule. Is that
Kind of breaking up a little bit.
You are. I think your mic sensitivity has been adjusted to down.
Yeah. Closer to my mouth.
That should help.
So I said, it is not, but if it comes to a choice between my creed and following your order, I will excuse myself, situation, and the expedition.
Let me clarify a little here. I will never order you to break your creed or do something against it. What I am merely saying is that if the situation of representing the nations of Quayla comes to risk because of your creed, I would require you to put Quayla before the creed. This is more in reference directly, because I am familiar with your teachings, with the aspect that if someone does not direct you a comment to you directly, it is punishable by death. You have extreme motions that Quayla does not uphold. Those are the ones I would ask that you put aside if necessary.
You perhaps study the creed that to speak to us as a group more than a venture is an insult, but it is not worth death, as directly stated in the creed. I do not make friends with those who insult me, but their deaths are not, nor even potential violence. Is that acceptable?
That is. The last one would be the tattoos. I know you see unworthy tattoos as unholy. And I know of your actions in Quayla. As acceptable as they may be in certain parts of society in Quayla and your removal of them from other people, as my dignitary, you would not be allowed to. If it is unholy, you may settle it in a manner agreeable to society, but you may not assault a person for believing something that only you believe. For not believing something you believe. Let me get that right.
Although I disagree with the latter. I think in this land, the former can be dealt with in an agreeable manner. And violence seems to be acceptable in particular location. So I will make things right.
As long as I do not get another word from one of the representatives that people have been arrested that are under my employ,
yes,
I will be acceptable to that.
Very well.
Now, I believe we have that in order. What do you know?
What do I know? We have come to an island north of the mainland in search of armor for Yolandrio. I do not know if that is necessary for what aim are. There is a magician of some kind in the mainland out with undead.
You were breaking up a whole lot.
Yeah, you're breaking up constantly.
That's real annoying.
It's like the very end of all your sentences we're not getting.
Grolak finally does a fair bit of talking. This is how it's made. Okay. Is that any better? I think
that's loads better.
Okay, great. So we came up here to get the Yolandrio's armor, and a magician guy drove us out with hordes of undead. I believe that the princess is in prison of own choosing. There is more detail I could tell you. Do you wish to know it?
We have the time.
In that case, he's going to tell him about Alibaba.
Okay.
And then he'll tell him about the piece that was going to be happening or not happening in the city, and before the undead things happened. We'll also tell him that the king of this particular land is a hugilopod, and
when you get to that point, excuse me, what?
The king is a pod. How do you pronounce it right?
Huglopids are only native in Quayla. There's no reason for one to be here.
I am aware. I battled them before joining this expedition. My nose knows it is not.
Very well. If, as you said, is correct, and my daughter is imprisoned by her own fruition, which I wouldn't put past her. She's always been reckless. It's a brother's influence. Then she is on the path that she chooses. Which prison, out of curiosity?
It is in the northeast corner of the continent.
Which nation?
Its name. I don't know. I always get them confused.
Would be Le Bon. There.
Bon. Okay.
The key.
Levant. Whose king is the Who?
Good. Then I have an excuse to send you towards the Le Bon side of things. I believe I have my mission for you, Brolog. Firstly, the armor that you are assisting your laundry will get. It is not pointless. If you have the chance, assist him. I will not explain fully to you as to why that is. However, I have been in contact with the monks of his monastery. In completing that set of armor is important.
Explanations are not needed.
Good. Then when it comes by, if your laundry could use the assistance with the armor, assist him.
It would be so. What else?
As far as Paraspetus's body, keep it with you and bring it to Shallows. I have communicated with Admiral Vuja. She is on her way to the Shallows estate. I don't know her time frame or how that will be going about, but I would appreciate it if you returned Paraspetus's body to Admiral Vuja so that she may bring it to us.
His body is not currently in our possession, but I will
go retrieve it.
Very well. Anything else?
Have you any other details for me before I give you your final decree?
I have Paraspetus writings. I cannot read most of them. They may have some interest to you.
Very well. Send them with his body.
Very well.
Your captain currently is Captain Sabre. Am I getting that correct? If my intel is serving me well.
The ship, yes.
Good. Give her the ring when you have a chance. I would like to speak with her.
Do you mean give it to her? Good.
No, just for the day. She'll return it after the charges are expended.
Very well.
Finally, my order to you is head to Lestrobka. Seek audience with the king and inquire as to why my daughter is in one of his prisons. Learn as much as you can, but understand that if he is a Huglopid in charge of a nation, he is not to be trifled with. Be careful in your dealings, and do not insult him. They are quick to anger, and I know you know what they're like in battle.
Yes.
What I would like to know the most is what his name is.
Very well.
Pog will be accompanying me. He is a Seglipid, one of the lesser races of Huglopids, a historian. If you get us a name, the likelihood is we will be able to figure out what lineage he goes down, and whether or not he will be a problem. And await further orders. If I am to change your order, it may be on a whim.
The absence of an end point is concerning.
I do not fully understand enough to give you an endpoint. For now, I need information. I need to know more. Until I know more, I cannot give you an endpoint. Oh, also, if you see my son, tell him to come to Danira.
Very well. Now we come to the other side. Yolandriel has undecided on whether he will join us. Can you still hear me? It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Whether he will join with me or not. I have a new companion named Avarat. He is a plant being. He seeks to heal trees, but he said he will join me and assist. If we will assist him, I will assist him when he finds a poison tree.
Parasperus spoke about these trees. They concern me. Find out what you can about that as well. I hope you understand by this point, Brolog, is that we have walked into something far greater than we understand. There is very little we know and very much that we need to find out. As you were on the grounds and have already established yourselves to a certain amount, you are my best assets out there as of current. I am still 26 days away.
Yes, I understand that. So, given the scope of what you are asking, payment, I think, should be left open-ended.
How about conscription?
Explain.
I will make you a captain inside the United Nations of Quailers, conscripted armies. You will hold rank and wage over a great many. This will be your platoon of mercenaries. Only you will be tied into us.
What payment for Yolandriel?
Basic mercenary wages.
I do not think that is given. It is required.
I'd say for his worth, $250 gold per month. Higher than our typical mercenary wages. But I understand him to have skills.
This seems agreeable.
Good.
I would like, additionally, the ability to hire on your good any that I find useful along the way.
Of course. You have it. Being conscribed, that is in your whim. There is one negotiation I ask you leave to me. The negotiation for Sabre. I have heard tale of Sorbray speaking from the Queen. As they did not know each other, she was well known for her ruthless negotiation. As being the father of the UNQ, I hope you appreciate that I believe myself to be a much better negotiator than yourself.
That is agreeable.
Good. I look forward to when our paths reach again, Brolog.
And I.
Remember, use your charges daily. Report often.
It will be done.
Do not disappoint me like Paraspidus.
Just throw him under the bus now that he's not here.
The king's been very upset with Paraspidus, actually. Very, very much so. That point, you feel a hand on your shoulder as you are woken up by Aberrat.
It is time.
Excellent work. I will begin. Rollock takes his watch.
And Aberrat returns to his trance.
Morning comes. Where you all? Prologue? Sun rises, morning sounds. Lovely, lovely.
At that point, if Yolandril is not awake, Rollock will wake him up.
Okay. Yeah, you do so. I wake up. I'm rubbing my eyes and I say, "What's the word?"
The king spoke to me in a dream state.
Did he?
He did.
Oh. What did he say?
He has accepted my request to be made leader of the expedition. The objectives are somewhat changed.
What are they? You don't have to explain. You can just say that you explain.
He tells him everything.
Yes.
And says that if Yolandril is going to will stay with the group, he'll be paid 250 gold pieces per month. And yeah. Is that agreeable?
Okay. I kind of look Prologue up and down, and then I extend my hand, and I say, "I'm behind you, Prologue. Let's go get that armor. Get the hell off this island."
Prologue shakes vigorously.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm jackhammered up and down slightly.
Very good. Prologue turns to Aberrat and says, "It has been decided. I am now the captain of this expedition."
I am the captain.
What happens to be your rank?
Excellent. Then I shall follow you, Brolog.
Excellent. We will continue to wait for Anubisai, as I told her that we would. But
Didn't we say that? I'm going to say Prologue. Didn't we say that we'd meet her in the city?
no. I told her that I would meet her here. That I would wait because I had not yet decided whether I would go to the city.
Okay. Well,
Does Burlock have any idea how long it will take for Anubisai to run that far and run back?
Oh, she would have gotten back to the boat before the night fell, actually, but wouldn't be able to return until a few hours probably after you wake up. So, Anubisai, you take off running. Do you stop anywhere on your way to the boat, or do you just go straight to the boat?
Straight to the boat.
Straight to the boat, okay. You plunge into the water, climb up the anchor, and there's no one currently at the helm as the ship is anchored in place. But there are people moving around the boat, cleaning, scrubbing areas. You see Tantor walking around. He sees you come up. Anubisai. Good to see you. What word have you?
The island has been cleansed. You may haunt it. We still have more business there, so we will be a couple more days, maybe. Do not leave.
Very good. I'll let the captain know in the morning. I'm pretty sure she's gone off to sleep by this point of the night. We're just doing some evening cleaning because we like to torture the crew from time to time.
And Anubis has already turned around and walked off the side of the boat.
Oh, and she's gone. That's a fun one. I miss the monkey. Oh. Okay, and after that...
Straight back?
Straight back. Great. It's...
Full tilt.
You've got a quick speed. You've actually gotten even faster now, too, as well, so...
and I'm not encumbered by any type of terrain, so...
Yeah. So it's only 2 hours after you all wake up in the morning until Anubisai shows up. Comes barreling through the trees, like little twigs sticking out of gaps inside the armor in some places. And then that just sort of is pushed out and fall to the ground.
Stop, Neb, pick him out.
Throwing them at your laundry.
What word?
I told them not to leave. It will be maybe a day or two more that they can hunt the island. And get supplies.
Abrat's going to give Anubisai a very long look.
Wondering when that was going to happen.
Now that Anubisai is actually in his vision.
See a suit of armor. Person speaking does not seem winded at all.
Brolog turns to Yolandril and says, "It is time to go back to Alibaba. Are you prepared?"
As ready as I'll ever be.
Onward. Brolog starts walking back towards the sea.
Same.
Whilst they walk, Brolog will lean over, wherever Anubisai is, and assuming Anubisai is coming with, and tell her the happenings with the dream and the new orders that we have, the group is being made.
Congratulations on your promotion. But
Thank
the
you.
game of ranks and kings and queens is just a game for the young.
Yes, well said.
On our walk, I am going to try and remember everything I can about Alibaba from
Alibaba.
Alibaba.
Why does everyone get it wrong?
From
I've
the
typed it
stone.
out. I've sent it in the notes. It's there
From
for
the
everyone to
stone.
see.
Yeah, no, whatever.
And why is it Yark? And why is it Ent? We'll make it whatever we want. Ent.
This is what they do to my names.
Now it's Alibaba.
Ugh.
Anyway, I try to recall past memories. some total recall.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're thinking, trying to remember details.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. What does everyone else do on their walk?
Brolog is just enjoying having direction.
Abrat's
Okay.
enjoying nature.
Except for that screaming deer.
What is an elk, sir?
Or elk.
What is making that noise?
I say elk out loud.
So
Whatever. Elk.
Elk.
well, eventually the sounds of the animals begin to dim away, disappear, as you enter into the city, which has not quite gotten populated by animals yet. You're not disturbed by any of those previous creatures that you ran into in the past. So your travel and your journey to the chapel itself is swift and easy. Yolandril, why don't you give me another perception check as you enter in.
16.
16. Okay. Aberrat, say something about Syrinscape.
Syrinscape. Those wonderful noises you keep hearing, those are coming from Syrinscape. It's managed by the DM. He picks out all the noises for you. He sends them through the wonderful Syrinscape app to us, and we get to enjoy it and get fully immersed, so much so that we don't even realize something's going on because we're too preoccupied thinking about being in a city and
Good
hearing
job.
all the sounds.
That's great. Wonderful. As you walk in, thank you very much, Aberrat, to the chapel, the hut is still there. The rubble mess has been picked through a bit now. As you see... What's his name?
Alibaba.
No, not Alibaba. Complete brain. Arden. There we go.
Arden.
So you see Arden cleaning up certain parts of the rubble and tidying up a little where he can.
When he sees us, I'm gonna nod to him.
Oh, hello, friends. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Been gone for a bit now. Did you find what you wanted?
Yeah, pretty much. Aberrat, this is Arden. Arden Aberrat. Long story. We're gonna speak with Alibaba, and then we will be out to maybe, hopefully not say our goodbyes to you. Hopefully you come with us, but we'll discuss this later.
Oh, all right then. Hi, Aberrat.
Greetings.
You look fun. He's inside.
Okay, before we step in, I'm gonna lean to Aberrat, and I'm gonna ask, you don't happen to have any like druidic spells that like could help you with lying, could you? Is that more of a bard thing? I say in character, in game.
Let's see. He might. Lying? Why do you need something like that?
Did I say Arden? I meant Aberrat.
Oh, Aberrat? Okay.
Yes.
I thought you... Yeah, my bad. I think I might have heard that wrong.
Aberrat thinks for a moment and goes, No, not really a druid for that.
I didn't think so. As I like step to the door, I'm like, okay, well, Yeah, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. No, I cast the guidance cantrip on myself. Is that possible?
You can. It only lasts for a minute.
Yeah, I say, let's see. And then I knock on the door.
The door swings. Yeah.
As a note, Abrat is actually going to stay out with Arden.
Okay. The door swings open, and inside you see Adibaba standing, sipping tea, looking at Paraspidus's body. I wonder when they're going to come and get you.
As I step in, I say, we'll speak of the devils and they shall appear.
Oh, well, we hope not. How is your journey?
Quite eventful. I'm gonna look at Anubisai, and then I'm gonna look at Brolog, and I'm gonna say, Brolog, do you want to take care of the body while I finish this up with Adibaba? And I kind of give you a specific look, like I want to try and deal with this by myself, kind of a look.
Brolog will roll for insight to see if he notices.
Okay.
Go for it.
That's a 3.
I'm not lying, so whatever the DM thinks you can
It's-
see, I guess.
I mean, it's not an natty one, so, and he's not intending to lie.
Okay. In that case, Brolog will do some of that and say, I will be outside. And he gives you a meaningful glance in return.
Mm-hmm. I give him a very courteous nod.
Just the most awkward exchange.
Exactly.
Brolog will pick up Paraspidus as reverently as he can and go outside. He'll go up to Abarat and say, do you know of ways to preserve this body?
Abrat will look down
Give me an Arcana check, Abarat.
and do exactly that. 21.
You can tell this body already has preservation spells placed upon it.
I do not believe you will need to worry, Brolog. The body has already been preserved. Arcanely.
Excellent. Do you know the duration?
Can I tell how long it'll last? Should it last for a long time?
The enchantments on it are fairly complicated ones. You would be able to tell that you yourself would be able to do basic ones that could preserve it for maybe 30 days. This one's more
Gentle
of a
repose.
permanent spell. This one will last longer, much longer.
It'll last a lot longer than what I can do, which is 30 days for me. So I believe this should last far longer than he will.
Excellent. Brolog will stand there with the body and wait.
Okay.
Hey,
Nubasai. Real quick.
Oh, yes.
Nubasai, where are you?
I am by Ilandria.
Okay.
Okay.
Situation
I
set
I'm
there.
curious to watch how this goes.
Yeah, just in case. I wanted to make sure that at very least Brolog has Paraspidus's body, and it's out of the way. I'm gonna say to Adibaba, all right, well, I found it, but it's not quite what you thought it was, I don't think.
Really? Well, give it over. We will find out. Let us see.
Okay, I say, well, bring out the helmet.
Haha. Man of business. I respect that. I respect it. He reaches over to one of the piles, shoves his arm in, pulls out a sack that looks like a helmet of sorts, holds it, undoes the top, and reveals a dreamlike blue-coloured helm with the silver in line. You recognize the design of it. It is much similar to your breastplate and your halberd. On the top, there is the full moon engraved, and on either side, the two lesser moons.
Okay. I'm going to nod my head, and then, yeah, we're going to, like, kind of get into an area, I guess, and then I'm going to pull out the stone and say, that tree wasn't exactly well.
Wasn't well? How do you mean?
Meaning, upon retrieving the stone, the light dimmed. Not exactly sure why. And if you want me to roll a deception check, then I will roll a deception check.
Yeah, give me a deception
Not
check.
actually a lie.
But it's close enough. It is a half-truth.
So the way he's directing it, it is directed currently as a lie.
Yeah. Okay, well that's not bad. What was... Hold on, let me read guidance one more time. What is that?
D4. It gives you D4.
Okay.
1 second here.
Okay.
That was a fairly... Guidance only lasts a minute.
Yes.
And that was a decent amount of time. Let me just...
You tell me, and then I'll get...
Oh, you lucky sod.
Yes.
51%.
Yeah.
So, yep, it lasted just in time. Literally about to break as you do this. So add your D4.
Okay, so that's going to make it a 16 deception,
16.
which is very high for someone with a -1.
As you're saying this, he is looking at the gem. He's like, may I see it?
Okay. I go like that. And I give it to him.
Takes it. Thank you very much. Here you are.
Okay. I grab the helmet and I double check with an Arcana.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, god damn, that's high. Too bad my Arcana is -1
Doo-doo.
with an 18.
18. It's very easy to tell that this belongs on your body because the halberd and both your breastplate agree to you grabbing and touching it. It feels right being in your hands.
Okay, I'm gonna say, well, good luck. Whatever you're gonna use that for.
Oh, good research.
Yeah, I'm sure. I say, and I wink at him.
Well, if there is anything else, I still have plenty of goods to trade. Is there anywhere you would like to be? I feel compelled to insist, as you have done me a great favor. And I'm feeling a little sad and sorry for your loss.
I'm gonna look at my reflection in the blade part of my halberd, and I'm gonna say, no, you kind of cleaned us out.
Ha.
I don't even think we've got 100 gold pieces between us.
Well, That is a pity.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I give him one of those, and then I step out thinking in my head, well, fuck, hopefully that wasn't a bad decision.
Great. So,
I will say until next time in Jaunty.
until next time, Anubis, always a pleasure to see you. Before you go, you might not want to be here for too much longer. What is about to happen could have a bit of a risk on you. If you know what I mean.
Okay. Thank you.
Be
We'll be
careful.
leaving.
I'll see you later.
I'll walk out and say, we gotta get out of here. He's gonna do something.
Not as much.
Well,
And then I kind of adjust my helmet, and I'm like, oh god, I can't wait until this shit changes.
until it like finally actually situates properly on your head. When you put it on, though, it feels really comfortable already. Like there's just minor things that need to adjust and change to it.
See, I don't even want a helmet. I just want one of those bands that like goes around and that's like open right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, not even a helmet. Don't want to hide this beautiful face I got.
Just illustrious mane.
Brolog, upon seeing Yolandril with the helmet, will say, to the ship then, and starts walking towards the ship.
The faster the better, I imagine.
Well, then I guess this is where we say goodbye. Abrat's agreed to, Abrat, good grief, I'm terrible with names today. Adibaba's, just in general, Mother's just on a really bad off day. Adibaba's agreed to kind of help me figure out what went on here and what's gonna happen. Steve took off earlier, by the way. He was eager to go out somewhere. I don't know what happened, but
He'll be safe. He's with someone. A friend.
Okay.
But listen, speaking of that friend, as I like shake Arden's hand, I say, if you ever change your mind about Alibaba, go north to the cave. Friend Zarai and Steve will probably be there still. They can help you out.
good to know. Thank you. It's a pleasure
Stay
meeting
safe.
you. You as well, and thank you for helping out clearing out this whole mess. At least you brought my parents to rest.
Brolog never stopped marching.
I say, I look over
He's
my
long
shoulder
gone.
and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm just like, ignore him. All right?
I was gonna say you might want to get going. Doesn't look like he's gonna stop.
I can catch up. I say, and then I give him one of these and head on out to the beat. Beat.
Okay. If you all beginning your journeys, travels back to the boat, it does take another day to get there. You will be arriving roughly about that midday time frame, given how travel is. A little before midday, if anything. But I think
Brolog
that's
signals.
a perfect point to
Yes.
actually take a break real quick.
Please.
Yeah, real quick. So we are going to take a little break, see? Congratulations, Yolandriel, on finally getting another piece of his armor.
Yep. Yay.
He's only been trying for a while to do that, but
Almost
stuff.
30 episodes.
I will tell you what that does while we're on our break. But until then, we will see you all in about 10 or so minutes. Go get a refill to your bladders so you can prepare to fill them up again, and join us for the second half of Tales of Andrea. Back in a bitty. Welcome back, everybody. Hope we all had a good break. Got some refills where needed, if needed, in places. Let's just hop back into it. They all left off on the shore, getting ready to... waiting for the rowboat, essentially, to arrive to them. Abrat. There is a large... what is it called? It's wood. You know it's wood. And it's floating in the water. There are people running around on it and large wooden branchless trees coming from the middle with extensions in certain areas. These branches that look like they have a strange pliable cloth figuration to it.
What interesting leaves.
There's a smaller one being lowered into the ocean, and then slowly 2 branches come out of it and are moved by people on the smaller one as it is propelled towards you through what you know to be water, but you've never seen water in such large expanses before.
I'm going to approach the water line and just slowly put my hand and submerge it in the water.
Anubisai is going to walk into the water, straight to the ship.
Godzilla at the end of the movie. Just
straight in. Abrat, you look over and see the suit of armor walking straight into the ocean with a monkey just staring at you blank-faced as it bloop, disappears into the water. And then surfaces.
Abrat.
Back up.
Turn.
Struggles a bit. Shakes. Sinks.
Okay, I'm going to look at Brolog and I'm going to say, Brolog, I think that monkey is a sociopath. Not expecting a response. You take that as you will.
I do not think so. I do not think that monkey lives.
Yeah, but I mean, even if it's undead, yeah, you can cut us off.
Abrat will stand and look over at Brolog and say, "What is that?" And point out over at the floating object with trees and fabric leaves.
That is a ship. It will move us across the water.
Transport. And Anubisai often traverses under the water.
Things?
Anubisai has no need for breath or bread or water. So she is able to traverse under the water much more swiftly than we can.
The weight most undoubtedly helps in that.
Yes.
Abrat will then return to waiting for the smaller ship to arrive.
I go back to our conversation as we wait. No, I mean, seriously, even if it's an undead monkey, it's still clearly getting some sort of sick pleasure out of doing that.
I think perhaps Anubisai is the one getting the pleasure. The monkey just
stopped for a second.
She says.
I'm like, I think you're right. I think you're 100% right on this.
It is often the case.
I go, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Let's just agree on that, all right?
The boat pulls up, lands on shore, and one of the crew members looks and... Right, we'll be waiting until the end of the day. Itanis is out currently, and Sabre's wanting a report, I guess?
All right.
To the ship.
Okay, to the ship.
Oh, man.
Aberrat, you see Itanis, or not Itanis, oh dear. Yolondriel, wow, I really am so bad with the names today. Yolondriel and Brolog climb into this wooden thing.
I'm going to curiously nudge it with my hand, and then I'll climb in after them.
It stays firm. One of the crew members who's getting ready to push it back out into the water is like, "You're right."
Oh, yes, quite. This is a fascinating ship.
This is a boat. That's a ship.
Why have two words for the same thing?
Distinguished in size. You're gonna. You're in now. Okay, you're in now.
Yeah.
Right.
Abrat climbed in while he was talking.
It's like starts pushing off, and they hop into the boat and row back.
Who's rowing?
Two of the crew members.
So, like, every now and then, when the oars come out of the water, there's going to be Ned sitting there acting like, "No, please, don't put me back in the water."
Just like holding on for dear life.
While this is happening, is there any way Abrat can tell whether Neb is undead or not?
Give me an Arcana check.
22.
Good grief. Lift up a few times later and Neb's on the other oar. Oh, that monkey's really freaky. I don't like it.
Abrat will chuckle.
Keep rowing.
Eventually get to the boat, and once again Tantor's there waiting, offers down a hand for whoever's first. And like, "Welcome back. How are your travels?"
Brolog will go up first.
He looking directly at you.
Good.
Good. Wouldn't have it any otherwise.
Yes.
Look fit.
Yes. Is the captain available?
She's waiting inside her quarters. Well,
Brolog
map
goes-
planning area. You know where it is. Goes down to whoever's next and like, for his etiquette. And the rest of you, how was your day? He says that, making sure he says it loud enough. Just and for the rest of you, primarily for you, Brolog, to hear. Making it sound like he was directing you directly for the first time.
Brolog doesn't notice.
I pick up Paraspidus's body. I look up and then look down at my hands that are currently preoccupied, and I just fly up.
Oh. Aberrat, you see Yolondriel produce these beautiful, radiant wings out from his back. He sends off a bit of a glow from his face as the tattoos light up. Then he flies up and lands on the deck, carrying the body. Almost everyone on the deck stops to watch this. Aberrat, why don't you give me a perception check?
I will actually roll this perception.
And your Yolondriel, actually.
25.
25.
12.
12. All right. Do. Tantor stands there waiting for Abrat to take his arm to help him up the final distance, getting on board. You've got your head currently just poked over, curiously looking at all the people staring at Eulandriel after what he's done.
Abrat is going to examine... What was his name again? Torfor?
Tantor?
Tantor. And while looking him up and down, look for any tattoos.
He has none. Only scars. Many, many scars.
Interesting. You do not wear your accomplishments like Brolog.
What are you talking about? I wear my accomplishments everywhere. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, pointing at all the scars throughout. Like, you're new.
The scars.
Who are you?
Very. I am Abrat. And you are?
Tantor.
Tantor.
Responsible for the crew members here. If you're going to be sailing with Captain Sabre, you're going to need to speak with her. She's the one who has final say on whoever's on board.
Abrat starts to follow Brolog.
Who's now at the door? And do you knock before you open it?
Brolog will be knocking.
Okay, it's currently knocking at the door.
Loudly.
Before we get to that, Eulandriel, what are you doing with Braspidus's body? What are your plans?
I'm just gonna take him down a level and find a spare room, probably one of the ones that we were sleeping in before, I'm guessing.
Okay.
And just lay him down.
You lay him in his bed. You have to, at first, put him in someone else's, as you see that the device used to play those cylinders is currently resting there on his bed.
Okay. I'm going to gently move that out of the way. And then set Braspidus down, and then I'm going to turn around to that player. How many recordings were there?
There were 4... Ooh, hang on. Let me get to my notes on that bit. I forgot to bring it up. Oh, look at all that wonderful notes and lore stuff I wrote that doesn't matter anymore.
Ah, yes. Good stuff. Ain't it? Good stuff, folks.
Good stuff. I love it when characters die. There are 4 in total.
Okay, he only played 1 before, didn't he?
He did. He only played 1.
Okay, I'm going to play all 4.
All right. Before we get to that, because I actually have them all here, we will switch over to Brolog and Abrat for a bit. Well, you...
And
Did you get my
Anubisai, she's there.
Oh, what was that, Anubisai?
I assume Anubisai is there by now. So she'll follow Brolog.
Okay. Yeah. You would be climbing up around the same time that they're arriving, and would clearly see that Brolog's going to Captain Sabre's map area, meeting quarters. I use it for a lot.
That's where I'll head to.
You will get in, and she's currently peering over a map, measuring out some distances, mumbling under her breath, after she called out, just, come in! That's
Brolog goes in.
Let's see.
Captain.
Brolog?
Percy is dead.
Captain.
I speak for the king now.
Oh.
And he wishes to speak to you. Burlock takes off his ring and offers it to her.
She takes the ring.
Do you know how it works?
Yes, thank you, Brolock. I'm quite familiar with how these work.
I'm wait.
Sorry to hear of Braspidus' death. We will do a toast to him later on. Anubisai, good to see you. She puts it on. And then you wait for a moment. A few moments pass, a couple of minutes. Well, that's interesting. I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but I think he's trying to subscribe me to the military. Flat out no. However, he did offer a fairly good deal. Set me off for the rest of my life, I think. I'm to be your personal boat.
Excellent. To the Shallows estate, then.
Very good. I will just mark that off. That's another 5 grand. Good. All expenses are going to be paid by King Shago, which is delightful. And I'm to go where you ask. Only under the certain circumstances that my crew is my crew. If you have any direction, you will be giving it to me, or Itanis, or Tantor. Anyone of us. Good.
Burlock reaches out his hand back for the ring.
Ah, yes. Sorry, you used all the charges. It's empty for the day.
Very good. Puts it back on. Do you need anything? Relief?
Nothing else, I believe. Just, please, if you don't mind joining us for a toast for your fallen comrade.
Yes.
Soon? When Itanis gets back, we'll do that. Should be at sunset. Should be quite beautiful. Good way to send him off.
This is Abarat. He is with group now.
Abarat, I'm Captain Sabre.
Greetings.
You're on my boat. It's my vessel. However we're conscribed, and why you look so confused?
I need a little clarification on something. I have heard this object we are currently standing on referred to as 3 names now. Is it a boat, a ship, or a vessel?
Well, it's a ship over a boat, but can be called a boat if you want to be vague. A vessel if you want to be fancy.
Oh. Does it have a name?
The Nightlock.
The Nightlock. We shall call it the Nightlock.
For that I am good. The Nightlock shall be. Before you leave, Brolog, I have one few things to go over with you. The Chalice Estate would be where we are first going. Where to after?
I will need to see a map of the continent.
She gestures to the table, which currently has a map of the continent, of the Northern Islands at the very least, sprawled out on it.
We shall head to as close to Estrabga as possible.
Estrabga? You want us to go to the Andrean capital?
Yes.
Well, the Reclorian capital, that is. Very good. This deal is going to get worse and worse with each day. We will plan on that. That will, of course, I need to know these things, if you don't mind, in advance. Mainly because we have to plan what supplies we need to get and the journeys and where we have to stop to get to the end of those destinations.
Yes.
Going to Lestropka, let's see. She shuffles through some papers and pulls out a map of Andrea. Sherwallow will be where we would be stopping after the Shallows estate. Good. We have a course. We shall set off as soon as Itanis gets back. We'll make double haste, as quick as we can. Use all our resources. We're a little light on food, so getting this sooner we get to the Shallows estate, the better. And it's roughly about 633 miles.
That is a very specific number.
Yes, well, that's what maps are for.
Very good. Anything else?
No. Enjoy the journey. And if we are assaulted by pirates, do be sure to be on deck helping out.
Of course.
And once again, I'm sorry for your loss. Braspitus was a unique man.
That he was.
You may want to tell Wisp when you get the chance.
Do you know where he is?
Last I checked, he was below deck.
Okay.
Talking to the twins.
Rolog will then head out to go find Wisp.
Okay. Nubusai Aberrat, Aberrat, are you following Prologue?
I can follow Brolog out, but he's going to start exploring.
Before you can leave, she'll say, Aberrat, you're his responsibility, not mine. You're under his contract, not mine. So take care of yourself, and welcome aboard.
Thank you. And he will just turn around and walk out.
She'll give you a look, Anubisai. How are you, Anubisai?
Okay.
Well, good to have you back aboard.
Why is that?
Well, just a menacing presence. Scares the crew a little. Make sure they do their job well.
Could always help with that.
I think your presence is enough. If they get scared a little too much, then they might lack at their job a little. Or quit. I'd rather they not quit.
Can't quit in the middle of the ocean.
No, but they could easily quit in the Shallows estate. A new job is right around the corner there. Unless you have anything else, she's returning to her planning and coursing.
Nope. I'll walk out on my deck, find my spot.
Okay. So, Yolandru,
Yes.
are you starting with the one that is currently in, the one that's already played?
Yeah.
Let's see, let's find out. Do.
It's a jack in the box.
Perfect. So you begin to play it. You reset it at the beginning, and it starts off with that static little crisp little popping noises, and you hear, "Heyo, this is Banithor Blute. I'm in a town called Osana. It's it's been here for a few days. I've only a few of these cylinders, so I've been using them sparingly, but the people have welcomed me in just well enough. Even though I'm an outsider and all, they don't see very many of us. Adi Baba came to me in a vision, nonetheless, and asked me to come out here looking for something, which for some kind of green stone. Now, I haven't figured out where it is, but I don't know if I want to stay here for much longer. It feels weird, just being here. It's almost like it's on a volcano that's about to erupt or something. It's not right. Well, that and the other guy who's here, he's he's a little weird. He ventures north a lot more than most people. Sometimes he's gone for a while at end, but then he shows up again. That's it's I get the heebies about him. Yeah. Anyway, I still haven't quite figured out where I should be going yet, but this town's pretty cool. I like the people here so far. They're nice. End of cylinder 3. I've run out of space.
Okay, I'm going to say, all right, that's 3. And then I look at the 3 that aren't in use, and I say, okay, where do you start and where do you end? And I'm going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and just grab one at random.
Roll a d4.
Okay. 4.
4? Okay. You grab one of the cylinders.
Mm-hmm. I put it in and play it.
Okay. There is the slight popping noise again as you begin from the beginning. I'm not sure how much longer I can stay awake. It's been 4 days, and I'm more tired than ever. It's not just me, though. The whole town's been feeling it. There's something going on here. It's the same dream. We all have the same dream. The cylinder goes on for a while later. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
18.
18. It sounds like there's a voice at the end of the cylinder, but it is quiet. Very quiet.
Okay, I'm getting right up close. Like I'm in a horror movie and this is about to be a jump scare. I'm putting my ear right up against where the sound comes out.
Right.
And I'm rewinding it a bit and then playing it again.
You get to the point where you hear the thump inside the recording, and you focus. Turn yourself in, and you hear, "Please, no, gods, please, no. Don't let it take me. Please don't let it take me. It's only in the dreams. Oh, gods, if only I can stay awake. Please don't, please, no. I'm here. I'm safe here. He can't get me here. The farther from the center of town. It's please, gods, please, no, don't let it take me." It just repeats like that for a while.
Okay, I'm going to take that cylinder out, put it at the end of the line, and as I grab one of the two that is left, I'm going to look at Percy on the bed, and I'm going to ask this corpse, why didn't you play all the tapes? And then I'm going to turn, and I'm going to stick this. Do you need me to flip a coin for this one?
Yeah,
tails?
sure. Flip a coin. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You stick the next one in. Similar static. And then the voice comes in. Guess who? It's me, Benathar. I set the dogs off for that one.
You motherfucker.
Yeah. Managed to get my hands on a few more cylinders before leaving. Was at sea for roughly 3 weeks before the enchanter showed me which island. Boat was pretty beat up from sailing. I now understand why no captain wanted to take me. Oh, right. Still haven't met him. But I know his name now. Adi Baba. Gave me a drop point for me to leave the item. Funny enough, where I got back to the boat, it was perfectly repaired. So I know he's here. That helped reassure me. If I am being honest, yeah, it just helped reassure me. Was beginning to think that I was following the messages of some stranger. He was using me to get the item, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, enchanter. It's a real scare. Anywho's, going further south. Not sure what for this time, but I know where at least. Some place called Osana. All I know is that this is farther south than any Iridine ship has ever dared go before. Either I'm one heck of a sailor, or my path is being protected. I shouldn't have even made it this far. Well, before this cylinder ends, I was talking for like 30 minutes last time before realizing. Only just 2 more of these left, so the next recording might not be for a while.
Okay. And then I play the last one. I put that in the order it's supposed to go in. Roughly.
Okay. You start playing it up. Get that static. And you hear this small pop. And a, hey! Ow! Ah. This thing on? Well, the needle's moving. So I guess so. Wow. Introductions then. Hi, my name's Banathar Blutes. I'm a fun-loving gnome and follower of the Enchanter. I know what you're thinking, who's the Enchanter? Well, he's, I don't really have a way to describe him to you. Listen to me say you. Like anyone else is gonna listen to this anyway. I'm headed south. Yep. Leaving the Vezuth Republic and daring the archipelago of the gods. Nuts, huh? Not sure if I'm gonna ever return home, but hope to someday. Gonna miss trading stories with the fellas at the clubhouse. But how exciting is it to receive a divine mission? I hope I make the Enchanter proud. Oh, right. You don't know yet. The reason I got this in the first place is I found this weird item that just absolutely pulsed with magic. I knew it would be bad to give to anyone or have the wrong hands take hands of it. So I took it and put it in a box. Lead box, to be precise. The enchanter said he would meet me on an island or the center of a town somewhere. But he said go south. I guess he's reached out once before. He'll reach out again. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, no one's really dared the archipelago of the gods. They usually just try to sail around it. At the same time, what an adventure. How cool would it be if I'm the first one to ever go and then return back and tell stories and tales of all the archipelago? Like, what if one of the island...
sit there for a minute. I'm just like looking at the tape player, tape recorder / player. Well, sorry, Banithar, I say, and I take the last one out and I put it in order with the rest, and I just kind of sit in that room for a little while. Yeah. Contemplation.
Okay. Prologue. You're looking for Wisp.
Yes. Go down below. I've told you it's down there. Last check.
Yes. He is currently sitting. You eventually find him sitting at one of those makeshift tables, basically just a barrel at one end and a wood board used as the tabletop, situated to be supported by a rift in the side of the boat and the barrel itself. And he's sitting and talking to two other Ganassi. People, two that you've heard referred to as the twins a few times.
Brolog goes up to Wisp and says, Percy is dead.
He was in the middle of telling this jovial story to them. They're chuckling a little bit and laughing, and you come up and drop that bombshell. And he stops and... What? No, Percy. Percy cannot be dead. No. I am so sorry.
You may see his body if you wish.
I am... I might. I might later.
There will be a toast with the captain later.
I will
Perhaps you will join.
But of course, to the memory of Percy, of course I would join. I would be happy to.
Also, I have another tattoo.
Really?
You have more.
Of course I have ink. I can always deliver a tattoo. I don't think... I might have a couple spells that I could attach to it.
Yes, perhaps tomorrow.
I would need the coin and proper compensation, of course.
Burlock is confused by this and says, what is the cost?
That would depend on the tattoo. The last one I definitely gave to you as an apology for offending you at first. But from this point, I would appreciate if my trade is... because they do cost a good amount. The lighter ones are typically around 500 or so, and they go up from there.
Let's see. Very well. We will discuss that tomorrow.
Of course.
Burlock gives him a little naughty thing and then leaves.
Okay. Abrat, you are exploring the boat.
Most specifically, I'm looking to see how these trees have been growing on this wooden land.
Okay.
Or how this wooden land even works.
Give me an investigation check.
8.
8. You have no idea. I mean, at certain points, it looks like the roots of the trees go through the wooden land, and then when you look over, all you see is water underneath the boat. You can't see any roots. And what makes even less sense is that this wooden land, it's made of very specific segmentation of wood itself, and has been put together. It is pieces of wood made to be one. As your
And to no one in particular, Abrat's going to suddenly exclaim, "These trees were cut down to do this." Oh.
Now he gets it. You hear from behind you.
Yes. Now I do.
You ever been sailing before?
Abrat stands and turns around to look at who's talking to him.
It is a roundish halfling who is currently just sitting playing with a lute, chilling on a couple of packages covered with cloth.
No, I have never been sailing before sailing.
Yeah. You look like you could use a couple of explanations. He hops down from the stack of boxes that he's sitting on and walks around to you, kind of gives you a look over and, huh. Nice little aesthetics you got there.
Does this halfling have any facial hair?
He does. He's got mutton chops. Just coming down.
Mutton chops. Yes. Abra will just gesture at the mutton chops.
Fair point. Okay, let me show you around the boat. Welcome to the Nightlock. And he will give you a tour of the boat.
Excellent.
Nubis, are you wandering around the boat, or?
Straight chilling.
Probably statue mode.
No, I just found my statue mode, but if at some point Aberith does walk next to me, I will wish to strike up a conversation.
Oh, that would, yes. That would happen fairly quickly. We'll say towards the end of the tour, he's being brought back up from below deck, which is close to where you find a statue mode spot. And Kandros looks at you like, that's the boat. Mess is down below. Food is usually at first light bell and last of light bell. You get a ration of grog each time. Otherwise, listen to Captain Sabre and her prime crew.
What was the halfling's name again?
Kandros.
Kandros. Thank you, Kandros. Very nice of you to show me around.
Yeah. Fingers are getting a little sore anyway. But I'm going to go back to probably actually flute. I'll be on my stack. And he just wanders away.
Abrat turns his attention to Anubisai.
Aberith,
Yes.
what
And
language
stand
do
next to
you
you.
know?
I was asked this question by Brolog. He will slip
I like
into
to
Elvish.
learn language. Then I will repeat in Elvish. Yes, I know this one.
Perfect. Then he will slip into Primordial.
You will say in common, that one you'll have to teach me.
Interesting. And then he'll slip into Sylvan.
Easily answered in Sylvan, and answered back in Sylvan Matriarch.
Ooh. Interesting. And then he'll look at Anubis-I up and down. And the last language I know, I don't think you would. Can you speak Druidic?
And I answer in Druidic, you might be surprised.
Brat does look surprised and goes, responding in Druidic, I am pleasantly surprised. It's nice to be able to speak to someone in a tongue that I learned earliest.
Well, if you ever get the time, I would appreciate learning whatever that other language was that I do not know. It's rare for me to find somebody that has a language that I do not know.
I believe that one has been implied as primordial to me.
Ah, yes, it's hard to find those that speak that and be around them long enough to learn it.
Well, I would be honored to share it. Anubis-I, I was told you do not need to breathe or eat.
Breathe, eat, sleep. I am death.
Death. Are you... He looks at the monkey. Are you at all that? Or are you housed within the form you currently possess?
Neither.
Interesting. Well, Death, it is an honor to meet you. Hopefully I don't end up in your way. And I am always in your wake.
Everyone always comes to death eventually. It's inevitable.
Abrat just smiles.
That's it for now.
Okay. Course of the day goes through. Is there anything particular, anything else you'd like to do, or shall we move on to...
After leaving Wisp, Brolog goes to figure out where Percy's body ended up.
Okay. You find it fairly quickly. It's in the familiar quarters that you've been staying in. And
Brolog
you find...
stay with the body for the remainder of that day until the toast time.
You walk in to seeing your Londriel probably sitting on his bed, having the device and cylinders laid out with Paraspidus fondly resting in the bed that he slept in.
Very good. Thank you for taking care of this, Londriel.
Least I could do.
Yes. We are headed to the Shallows estate. And then off to Stragba after.
Okay, I just nod my head, and then I look up at Brolog and ask, you gonna join me? Or us, I should say. And kind of point at Paraspidus' body.
A humorous joke. But yes, I will join.
We could use the company. And then we just kind of sit there in silence until people come and see the body, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did have a question.
Yeah.
When he spoke Elvish, which Elvish was it?
Wood.
So...
I mean, a normal Elvish or Andrean Elvish or...
It would be...
Oh, yeah, that's...
It would be Andrean Elvish. Not Andrean. My bad. It would be an Elvish dialect and sound that comes from Quela.
Okay, just curious. I understand both, but
Yeah.
yeah.
The course of the day goes by. You all hear the arrival of Utanus and the hunting crew that went out. They bring enough food, which Sabre is happy to report is enough to sustain them to get to the Shah's estate. Given the extra day, they won't have to ration as fiercely. But as the sun is setting, you are all retrieved by other people and asked to join everyone on the top of the deck.
We do so.
Brolog brings Percy with.
Okay.
Is this a weekend at Bernie's?
Look, guys, she's still alive. You bring him up, and as you do, bring him from the bottom of or from below decks. Every sailor you pass removes their hat, offers a sake of remembrance. Sabre is standing up at the top of the top deck. I think that's what it's called. My nautical terms are terrible. Up there with Tantor and Itanis, and they all have just simple glasses and are just giving a couple of bottles to a few ship hands who are beginning to walk around and pour out into individual mugs and containers that each crew member has brought up with them. Those of you who don't have any, a spare one is quickly produced, cleaned out with the inside of a shirt, and handed over for use.
Mm-hmm.
Brolog will put Percy's body in one arm like a baby.
Just sprawled out.
And then have the cup in the other hand.
Itanis is looking over, struggling at not laughing because he finds the situation rather amusing, seeing a body treated that way. Tantor understands. Sabre's to each their own. Right, if we may, everyone, raise a glass to Paraspidus. May his life have been for a purpose, and may it live on with us. As much as we can. He was a good man, but in the end, he didn't make it out. You're terrible at this.
Got this look.
Itanis speaks up. He's like, you're terrible at this. He's like, it's a hell of a good man. May he fucking live on in our hearts or whatever. Paraspidus. And everyone else yells out Paraspidus and drinks from their glasses. And what ensues is basically a small little celebration that lasts about 5 minutes of people laughing, and then you hear Tantor call out, "Right, to your stations! We've got a quick sail ahead of us, and we need to get moving now while we still got some sunlight." Everyone quickly gets in to their stations, dancing around, getting busy. Abarat, give me a perception check.
Can I take my passive?
You can.
I will take my passive.
Great. What is everyone else doing?
Brolog's going to return Percy's body back to the cot bed where it was, and then basically stand guard over it until he goes to sleep.
All right.
Gonna hang out on the top deck for a little while and then eventually help people out.
All right, Nubasai.
Statue.
Statue mode. Perfect. Well, begin sailing. You all can roughly cover with, through the course of the next day, what you see is the twins both trading off on who's using spells to control the direction of the wind and constantly have wind at the back of the boat, pushing it forward. At the end of the day, they look genuinely exhausted. Very tired, as if they've used everything they had to provide what they could. The boat is constantly active, day and night, constantly sailing and moving. People are keeping track. It's either Itanis or Captain Sabre keeping watch on the speed of the boat and the direction of the boat. So they have only 2 people directing and figuring out. There is going to be a course of, I believe it's 5-ish days. Come here, calculator. Yeah. 5 days to get to the Chalice Estate.
Okay. Doing the same thing I always do on boat rides, helping out during the day, staying out of the way at night.
Upon, I assume, your Laundriel and Avarat come down to the room to come to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair assessment? What's happening? Prologue will speak to your Laundriel. Yes, Avarat?
As a note, Avarat does not actually go down to the room to sleep.
Okay.
He's going to stay at the top deck.
Okay. Prologue says to your Laundriel, it is the king's instruction that Percy's body be delivered. It should be guarded at all times.
You want to take shifts then?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me which shift you'd like. I'll take the other one. Maybe we can rope a Nubasai into it too.
Yes. Perhaps Apparat will assist. He said that he would. I will take the morning, do the afternoon, and Apparat the early evening.
Sounds like a plan.
To sleep then.
Okay. Yeah. I relay that information to whomever I find first.
I'm muted. It would be either one of the 2. They are both on the top of the deck.
All right. Well, then I'll let them both know what's going on.
As a note, during this time, Abra is going around and asking individual sailors whether or not they've seen said individual of which he has noticed is now absent.
They kind of give you looks and like, some people come and go at times. I don't know, we brought on 3 new members last deck. Last docking, that is. Not sure who you're talking about.
He attempts to go into great detail as to what the fellow looks like.
Give me a general... Now you see, in 3.5 there was this skill called Gather Information. It would be perfect for this. I'm going to say Investigation. I'm going to wrap that under Investigation.
9.
9. You don't really encounter anyone. A few people are like, that could be Henry. Nah, Henry's got a scar across the cheek. Can't be him. What about the one that's always in the crow's nest? That's a good question. Did it look like a bird?
No.
Nah, can't be the one in the crow's nest. Not sure, sorry. Is he your friend you're looking for? Although I don't remember you being here on the boats when we're coming from Lithrum. Who are you?
I am Avarat, and no, not a friend I'm looking for. Just curiosity.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. Best looking, better to talk to Tontor or Itanis. They know everyone. They're the ones responsible for hiring us.
Avarat wanders off looking for Tontor.
Okay. Anything from anyone else in this time? And you find Tontor easy enough. He is currently looking around the boat, fixing a splinter in one spot. The boat looks pristine. He takes his work very seriously. He sees you coming up and the newest member, Avarat, right?
That would be correct, yes.
How are you finding the boat?
Interesting, to say the least. Out of curiosity, Tantor, and he will describe the individual in question and then ask, do you know who this is?
No, I don't. Why do you ask?
A curiosity mostly, but saw him earlier. He looked surprised to see someone, and then I haven't seen him since.
Saw him earlier?
Yes.
As in, you mean back in the city? We're long gone from there.
No, here on the Nightlock.
That's not possible. I know every face on this boat, and I didn't know that one.
Abrat kind of squints his eyes off in the distance at the horizon and whatnot, and he says, keep your eye out for him then. You may have someone who's not supposed to be here. And he'll turn around and wander off, heading towards Anupasai.
Okay. You find an Anupasai statue mode on the deck. Easy enough.
Me?
I'm just going to go into
statue
mode right there. Yeah.
Stationary there too.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just going to join them.
Cool. As the days go by, Elondriel,
Yes.
during
Yes.
one of your watches over Praspitus's body, there's a knock at the door.
Okay. I'm going to turn to the door and say, who is it?
Utanis, can I come in?
Alright, hold on. I'll do an insight roll, just in general, for the vibes of the situation.
Okay.
With a 21.
21. Do.
Okay. I'm going to say, I'll come out And then I'm gonna open up the door, step outside of the room, and then shut the door.
He looks at you. He's wearing his everyday clothes. Looks like he's on his sage. Get for a nip.
I can't. I would, but part of my job. What is it you need?
Then.
I can maybe help you out.
Oh, nothing. I'd just like to know the crew. Everyone on the boat. From what I understand from good old captain up there, you're going to be on the boat for a long time. We haven't had a one-on-one just yet. I'd like to talk to you. Get to know you. Who are you? He takes a long swig.
Yeah, I explained to him who I am. And I do not partake in the alcohol. I have a jab.
So, you're here to get this armor?
That was part of it.
Looks lame if you ask me. Like that
I'm just gonna
helmet.
smile at him.
Have you heard of some magical items? They change shape and change to your form and change to what you like. Have you ever thought about giving it a try with that?
Yeah, I've tried. I was told that I have to get them all first. Say,
Who told you
unfortunately.
that?
And I like shake it. I kind of like think for a second and I'm like, one of the monks. I don't know.
One of the monks. What do they base it on?
Whatever information they had.
Like their Bible scripts, or their scripts in general. Like the words from their gods. Well, you know what the fun thing about that is? It was written by a monk. Who's telling if they're right?
I just kind of like look at him. And I'm like, well, hold on. And then like, I kind of like stare past him. And I'm going to try and fucking shape this helmet into what I want it to.
Make a wisdom check. Yeah, wisdom save. But
Wisdom
at disadvantage.
save. At disadvantage. Okay. That's as low as it goes. Oh, I just rolled an 11 2 times in a row, so 16 no matter what.
16. Now that you've got the helmet, you've got it on, there's more of a familiar feel about the armor. You can sense it, and you can feel each dimension of each piece. And for a second, it almost feels like the trim of the helmet shortens, then returns. Oh, see? Like that. There you go. Good job.
I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, trust me, if I could do it, this would all be black by now.
Fascinating. Well, if you'd like, I do meditation on a regular basis. You're more than welcome to join me.
I might take you up on that. Either way, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, come now. We're having a fun time discussing.
Okay, I'm going to open up the door and take a peek at Paraspidus' corpse.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that's a natural 20 for a 23.
The, you take a peek. You don't see anyone. It's empty and calm like it has been. So you see pocket get emptied and flipped out from his trousers.
Okay, without even looking, I immediately grab Utanus by the fucking throat, and then I like pull him towards me.
Give me you're attempting a grapple check here. Give me an attack
Rostray?
roll. Attack roll.
An attack roll?
Yeah.
Get fucking wrecked, scrub. An attack roll? Okay. With my fist, that's 6. So 21 to hit.
21 to hit. You reach out and go right above his head as he ducks down and is going to slam you right in the gut. He's going for an attack roll.
Okay.
Ooh, hello. That dice didn't go exactly where I wanted it to.
Oh. That's going to be 23 to hit. Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Bitch. Constitution saving throw of 21.
21. You make it. It's like, oh shit, that didn't exactly go the way I wanted it to.
Okay, I immediately, with this motion, grab my fucking halberd and immediately swing directly like that into his ass.
Okay.
Without hesitation.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay, 22 to hit.
22 to hit. That'll hit him.
Okay. Where are my dice? Do you need damage?
I do.
That is a solid 10 of damage.
A solid 10. Great.
Uh-huh.
I now need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Easy peasy, boys. Easy peasy, boys. With a saving throw, right?
Yep.
Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. This time you failed.
Ugh.
As a blade
Yuck.
gets stuck. And then the flesh begins to close around it. He looks up and he's like, I would just kill you on the spot here, but I don't think that's what he wants. He would rather I keep you alive for now. He steps back. You would have an opportunity attack, however you can't do it with your halberd, because it is currently stuck.
Okay. Can I do a spell for an opportunity
Do you have
attack?
Warcaster?
I am a warcaster.
Then you can. It can
Yes.
be a spell that targets only one person.
Okay. That targets only one person. I think I've got the thing. Give me 2 seconds to find it. Fuck. I don't think I do. Hold on. Hold on. No, because I only have cleric spells now. Unless I can do Moonbeam, but that's an area of effect.
That's an area of effect. You can't do Moonbeam.
Okay. Then instead... Shit. I don't have any reactions either. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. And he takes a step back with this big smile across his face. Enters a shadow, and then your halberd becomes free.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go back into the room. I'm going to check his pockets, and simultaneously while doing that, I have pulled my spellbook open, and I say, fuck you, out loud, and I begin to change all of my spells back to combat spells.
It's about this point when you prologue, who at this part of the day would not be quite in that location. Where would you be? You wouldn't be by the areas because it's your Laundriel's watch during that part of the day.
Right. Prologue would be with Tantor, finishing up learning how to row the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so probably on deck, where Abra and Anubisai would be too. You all hear panicked alarms beginning to get shouted from below deck, as someone who heard it but waited to shout until they got to where other people is beginning to shout, Yolanda is fighting Itanis downstairs! They're going to blows!
Prologue rushes downstairs.
Tantor rushes with you.
So does Anubisai.
And likewise Abrat, because that's where everybody else is going.
Abarat, seeing as you said last, you're going down last, your passive perception being ridiculously high, that 22, would catch Itanis opening the door to Captain Sabre's from the inside, poking his head out, going, "Excuse me, what?" As you rush down.
I'm going to attempt to, at that point, I will stop and attempt to block anyone from coming back up.
Okay, so you're all waiting by the stairs, block anyone from coming back up. It doesn't take too long for you all to get maybe about 15 or so seconds. There is no one in front of the door now. It is closed. No sign of combat, of a scuffle. Everything's quiet.
Prologue opens the door.
There's Eulandriel reading through the spell book. Looks like he's preparing new things, and Paraspidis still elegantly placed on the bed.
Eulandriel, there was work to fight.
I'm gonna look up, and you're gonna see like the pit, like the very center of my pupils, like are glowing on fire, and I'm gonna say, "Yeah, someone was here, looking like that one asshole that's hanging around. Anyway, stole some shit from Paraspidis. Didn't have anything prepared in order to stop him." And then I'm gonna look directly back down, and I'm gonna keep flipping through the pages, like think, turning them on.
Eulandriel, I need you to be a bit more specific with the individuals involved.
Okay, I'm going to explain what he looked like. And then I'm also going to explain that it wasn't him, though.
When he explains his prologue, he explained to the detail, Itanis.
No, do not leave this room. I will explain to the captain.
Doesn't matter anyway. Whatever he got, and it's gone, so...
Prologue, give me a intelligence check. You can too, Eulandriel. And Anubis, actually. You'd be able to as well.
I assume I know what's about to be said to me, hopefully. That's a cool 6.
Cool 6.
$13.
13. Eulandriel, what'd you get?
I didn't even roll. I'm not even going to try and do an intelligence check.
Anubisai, when they're talking about this, you remember every time Paraspidis got something, or had something, he always put it in the bag of holding. Everything he put in the bag of holding. Which Prologue has.
I was going to say, I do not think he had anything left on him. Perhaps they looked and did not find.
I would agree. Everything Paraspartus had was in the bag.
Yes.
Oh no,
Keep
Yolandriel is
watch.
just pissed to the point of no longer talking. So it's just all like white noise to him now as he's looking at the spell book.
Anubis, would you stay with Yolandriel as well while I go sort this
Yes.
out? Thank you.
Brolog, when you open the door, Captain Sobere is right there, about to knock with Etanis and Tantor on either side.
Excellent. You are already here.
Well, yes, I heard people shouting about fighting between my first mate, who was with me inside my cabin, and Yolandriel.
Yes. He described... I just spoke to Yolandriel. He described an individual that looked exactly like Etanis, but when cut, did not respond as... What sort of race is Etanis?
Etanis is an elf.
It did not respond as an elf's body should. Perhaps a shapeshifter of some kind.
Shapeshifter. They don't have the kind of intelligence of that. Well, I mean, they could. But Tantor, you've dealt with shapeshifters before? Yes, they have a very distinct smell. They're not hard to shush out. Besides that, why would he take on my form?
He was attempting to get Yolandriel out of potentially for a second party to get in to rifle through Percy's pockets.
Right. Everyone in? Alright. Alright, very good.
Wait, into the room with Percy and Yolandriel,
Yes,
that we're talking about?
that's what she's saying. Like, everyone in. Everyone in. Let me get to her spell list. I'm pretty sure she's got this one ready.
Brolog didn't go in. He just stood there.
So, oh, Brolog.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind joining us.
Of course.
I would like to do something here. Just to make sure. Right. Now I know these two are definitely not whatever that was. How do we know you, Yolandriel, are not that person?
Hey, I'm gonna look up and say, because fuck you. And then look back at my book with like the fire in my eyes.
That's good enough for me. If this thing is a shape changer, then it could be any of us. It could also be listening, probably right now.
Fuck 'em.
No, I would rather things not know information. So, if we cannot figure out a way to be able to keep our conversations private, then we cannot have good conversations until we've reached Shallows.
Hey, 1 second.
Secondly, how do we know it wasn't Aberrat? How do we know it wasn't something that came with him?
Because
Aberrat was on deck with me.
besides, if you knew where he came from and the circumstances, they're in, you wouldn't doubt them.
Very
Something
good, I'll
that
take it.
came. I finished by saying, part of the mission we're on, it wouldn't jeopardize its own mission. I agree. Sorry.
This is putting my crew at danger. I'm going to be charging the king extra for this. Not that you should really care about that. We're all getting paid anyway. Hopefully. So, anyone any suggestions? We've got roughly 4 more.
Everyone should travel in doubles from now on.
Always travel in doubles and pairs. That's a good idea, Nubasai. Why don't 2 of you go get Apparat? Last I saw, he was waiting by the stairs.
Did anyone attempt to go up in the duration?
Give me a perception check.
"21.
21.
Oh no, if we're about to get into combat, it's going to be a cliffhanger, folks.
I hope not.
I hope not, because I got to change my spells back. Luckily, I know exactly what I had, but I was just like pre-doing it now so I don't forget in between weeks. Because that's what happened this time around.
All right, well, once someone comes and gets me, I will follow them down to the room.
We can say easily, for the sake of brevity on that someone does.
Yep.
We've known for some time now that someone's been on the boat, doing something. Does anyone have any ways to make this conversation private? We don't know if they're here. Anyone see invisible things?
I look up and I say, I have to go to sleep first.
Oh, you need another day. I've got
It's
nothing.
not dead.
Listen, 2 of us will stay in this room at a time from now on. Tomorrow we will discuss things. I've got a spell that we can walk into, and by tomorrow I'll be able to see anyone trying to hide. So hopefully we don't hear any splashes in the middle of the night, people trying to escape.
Did I ask you any pointed questions?
No, it was trying to distract me.
Get anything off the body then?
Of the things that were on Percy, maybe important stuff was in the bag of holding, so as long as Brolog keeps his eye on that, should be fine. Besides, Anubis doesn't even have to sleep.
Yeah, and Anubis, I can't see anything.
All you gotta do is stare directly at the bag and make sure nothing like opens, while you're just sitting there, statue mode. Yep. That's how I end my
2
sentence.
people. That's a good plan. Who's going to start for the stay? We'll be arriving in Shalos in 3.5 days. I'll have certain reports in on a regular. I think Tantor should do a general roll call. make sure we know everyone's here. See if we're missing anyone.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. Or if we've got any extra.
Brolog leans over to the captain and whispers to the best of his ability.
Which is a yell.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could cut each of your crew a little bit.
He's right.
Hot needle.
Exact hot needle in the petri dish.
So-
I'm gonna say
Okay, yeah.
no. Actually, oh wait, can I? Do you want to roll?
You
a
can,
sneak?
you can. I'm
Just-
going to tell him to roll, but depending on what
Yeah.
you say, he might gain an advantage. So what are you saying, Yolanda?
Wait,
Oh.
I whispered it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
if
I'm
he
a
wants to roll for stealth.
give me a stealth check. Let's see if your stealth. Historically, they've been awful.
Yeah. 13, not my
13.
worst.
17 perception. That's what I
17
heard it.
perception. Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out by saying
So he
it's
would
not a
hit
bad
you.
idea. When I hit him with the halberd, it did that thing. Do you guys remember that? And I look at Anubisai and I say that one person we met, that black ooze stuff that she had.
Lady Giandro.
It was exactly like that. It reacts to of attack, abrasion, cut, damage.
Brolog, you just told her to harm, in a way, her crew, which is something she's very against, so it would be a persuasion with disadvantage. But your Laundriel has presented a valuable point, so just give me a straight persuasion roll.
That's a natty one for a 0.
Woo!
Christ.
There's the 0 of the session. I got there eventually. Yeah.
Perfect.
You want me to cut my
Exactly.
crew? No. That's insane, Brolog. I'm sorry, but no. I'm not going to bring my crew to harm. You know that I don't want my crew to be harmed.
Just a small cut,
No.
but as you will.
We'll see about our ways. I'm sure I can talk to Grom. Being a cleric and all, they do know how to present a area of truth where people are compelled to tell the truth. Perhaps something like that could work, but it's more of a question of how do we do this quietly? Because like Eulandriel said, we don't want to hear that splash in the middle of the night. Is anyone else creeped out by the fact that we're having this conversation over a dead body? It's
I don't think
preserved
he
in
has a
Danish.
problem with it.
And the
I think
Ubasai will
he's
say
from the
no.
Alright then, just me then. Fine then. Pulls out a flask and just takes a sip. By the way, Alondriel, I hope you realize I would never do something like that.
Yeah, I kind of realized it wasn't you a second too late there.
Oh, good. At least he realized in the end. She does bring a good point, though. If we do this loudly, they're gonna know immediately. Of course, they already know. It's just how active are we doing this? Do we startle the crew? Do we fright the crew? Or do we leave them in the dark? Because as you know, Sabre, lying to your crew's not a good idea. That's what got the old captain in the bad place. Yes, I know. That's why everyone hated him.
So, Bray, you deal with your crew the way you wish to deal with them. But I do strongly recommend that you consider what Brolog said if we can't find him in a way. Because you may trust your crew, but someone isn't who they say they are, which is a direct quote from the thing.
As far as we know, Sabre could be on deck right now giving orders.
Great, well, then in twos, who's going to stay with your Laundria?
Okay,
I'll do
I'm
it.
just gonna.
Nubis, I will stay.
Oh, never mind then. Nubis, I will stay. Besides, I could probably actually, hopefully, go talk to a few people. I'll see to Grom. Dontor, do you mind following me for that? Not at all, I'll go with you. As for myself, I'll accompany them and stay on the top deck where everyone can see me.
Very good. Brolog will turn to Abarat, not in his chair, and say, Abarat, stay with me.
Okay.
Brolog will then, starting around the doorway, attempt to pick up any scent of odd individuals or odd smells.
You doing this just on the inside of the room?
No, outside.
Outside? Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception check with advantage.
Do I? Oh, he's doing it outside, so I wouldn't be able to see it. Do you start sniffing before you exit the door?
I got a natty 20.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Goodness, doesn't matter anyway. I was going to let you sniff my halberd like a hound dog and then get on the trail.
Nice.
You very clearly smell most recent scents of Sabre, Tontor, Itanis, the Laundriel, yourself, Abarat. Nothing for a Nubisai, because a Nubisai is a construct of a kind, and the magical sense keeps it very clean, so no smell. Nothing else. There's no scent of decay, which is good. That means the spells that Paraspitus' body is are working still, which is very good. But you don't smell anything else.
No smell of decay other than what Abrat might smell like.
Yeah, which is more like an earthy, moldy type decay.
Mm-hmm. An earthy decay rather than
very
a bodily decay.
Brolog, after getting a full sniff on, returns back to the doorway and says to Yolandriel, whatever it was, it left no scent.
Probably has something to do with its magical properties.
Either way.
Magic. Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I know who it is.
Good. Figured as much.
I'm going to say, depending on what you want to do, Brolog, either you can watch over the bag or let Anubis. You'll never have to shut her eyes. So,
yes,
I trust you.
Yes, when the sleep comes. Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
Then Brolog will return to the top deck to watch the whatever interrogation methods are happening with the crew.
You see Itanis walking around, speaking with crew members. Same thing with Tontor. They're doing this very calmly, and it's almost as if they're just catching up with the day, figuring out, like, asking specific questions of, oh, what have you been doing today? Like, how's it been going? What places have you gone to? Have you checked in on these bits yet? Like I requested you to in the morning. It's like a general checkup, but the questions are pointed. They're very clear and wanting some information. Detailed checkup.
Prologue is being very alert that no one is sneaking upon him, trying to get into his bag.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh, 16.
16? You have a moment where you think, I should check the bag, and you look down, second don't see it, move your cloth aside, and there it is by your belt, still safely dangling.
Okay.
Nabarat, did you join him like he told?
He was here when I told him that.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. You weren't there. He told you to follow him. And
Okay, yeah,
in
in
a
that
very
case I would follow him, yes.
bad impersonation, figured he would say, okay.
Yeah. He will follow.
Good. Give me a perception check.
Can I take my passive?
You can.
22.
You see what Brolog saw.
Okay.
Very busy deck. Currently at the front of it, you see Oceana, one of the female of the twins, the Ganassis. Well, they call them the twins, but when you get a better look of them, the female is a Ganassi of the air, and the male is one of water. So they're not even the same type of Ganassi, so it's a little confusing as to why they call them the twins. But she is currently hands out with the wind blowing very greatly at the back of the boat, speeding it along its journey. Itanis is talking to two other members. Tontor is roaming around the deck, and then eventually disappears down the deck, then pops his head up, points at a random crew member and says, "Come with me." And the crew member joins him and goes below. And Sobre looking at the top of the deck. And that, I think, is where we should call it for now. Coming up to the end of the second day, sailing back to the shallows. You've got 3 days until you get there. Spend a total of 4 days in campaign again. Yeah, your laundry oil, there is a way you can get it to look like what you would like. And now that you're picking up more pieces, it is becoming more possible. So that's a good little, fun little bit there for you. You got your helmets, congratulations.
Yay, maybe it was the right decision.
Yay, we'll see what happens.
I doubt it, but hey.
Doesn't matter, because as soon as I touched that fucking stone, it would have lost all its power anyway. Yay!
We should
Except
also
in front of.
do a little appreciation here for a second. So as you all know, last week, Paraspidus unfortunately died. Very unfortunate. It was heart-wrenching, specifically for myself. That's what that meant is, Murat! Yeah.
Yep.
But the wonderful Michael Howe art, in a week, pumped out Abarat's character art here, which I'm just going to increase in size. And just look how dope that is. Look how cool Abarat looks. Look at that wonderful face. All that little lichen touches. Mossy sense, mossy nature. What a wonderful person. But thank you very much, Michael Howe, for doing that. That was amazing, as always. You wonderful human being. We're very grateful for him. Do keep an eye on our socials this coming week. We are going to be returning next week with the wonderful tales of Andrea. And who knows? Might see a few fun, interesting things. They are going to get to the Shallows estate.
Yes, we are.
Which will be great. It'll be good. I really hope you get to the Shallows estate. Please get to the Shallows estate. Those are wonderful socials.
Don't put any Krakens in the way.
Not trying to.
Give
us a follow on all those wonderful things. If you can, if you have the wonderful Amazon subscribe thing, why don't throw it our way this month? Or, support your lovely local innkeepers. Us. And all that there in between. Don't forget, Tuesday for 6 p.m. MDT, come and join the wonderful Von, as he DMs and guides us through a nightmare. And Smokey, I see you in chat. Are you ready for Tuesday? Smokey's one of the players. Delightful. Lastly, not least of all, we love you all. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.